Another audience question on the point that you made, that when you look at this nation's elite, whether it's in military or in the political realm, how few of their children are actually serving. Why is that? I mean, these are men and women who are committed to the nation, yet you don't see that kind of public service.
Well, first of all, let it be said, there are exceptions to that statement. It's an accurate statement, I believe, in general, but there are exceptions of people who, to use your term, would be recognizable as the elite or the privileged in our society, whose children are in service. So let's acknowledge that, first of all. But it's also the case, this is one of these extraordinary characteristics of the times we live in. We have good opinion poll data about how the public, that's us, what we think of our institutions across the board, what we think of our churches, the media, professional sports, the Boy Scouts, you name it. And in virtually every single case, measured against, let's say, take a benchmark, 1960 roughly, but we have data over all this period since then. But let's just benchmark it to 1960. And with respect to virtually every institution in our society, we as a people think less of these institutions and their leadership. And I dare say, with good reason. This isn't just a random fact we can't explain. We all understand in our guts why we don't think as highly of our institutions and our leadership as we once did. But the Congress of the United States, its approval rating, I think, is in the single digits or in the teens. I mean, it's just ridiculous compared to historical data. There's one exception to what I just said, and it's the military. The military is the one institution in our society today that is the most respected, and people defer to the military. We've all seen it in places like airports and train stations and so on, civilians going up to people in uniform, thanking them for their service, buying them a drink, buying them a meal, handing them cash. Happens all the time. I mean, we treat our people in uniform the way people in other societies treat Buddhist monks. There's a lot of deference to them and a lot of admiration for them. So this is extraordinary. Again, those people in this room who lived through the Vietnam era will remember what the reputation or public posture of the military was at that time. Though it's probably apocryphal that returning veterans from Vietnam were spat upon. There's little, if any, really documented proof that happened. But as a metaphor for what a lot of the public thought of the military by that time, it's reasonably accurate. And today it's a sea change. And I don't begrudge the military the admiration that they command. I think they deserve it, and I share in that. But a society that trusts only one institution, which happens to be the military, I think is a society that really needs to look into its heart and ask itself, what's happened?